framing on the other side of the fireplace. What I have to do now before I get too carried away with it is make sure that the fireplace is straight and as level as I can get it. If you don't do that, it's going to come back to haunt you later on when you do your finishing touches. When you put your marble slab or your non-combustible material, your ceramic tile, whatever, on the front, if the stove is off either bit, it's going to stick out on the edge and it's not going to line up and it's going to look ridiculous. So put a little extra effort in now just to make sure that everything is straight. So what we're going to do now is put our first two studs in, make sure they're straight, and then we can carry on with the rest of the frame. Okay, so we've started our cross bracing. You don't want to leave that too long because 2x4s, the way we get them now, they're not number one kill and dry 2x4s anymore. They like to find their own shape within a couple of days after bringing them home. So if you can get it framed in as soon as possible, the straighter your wall is going to be. Okay, so I'm nearing completion of the framing for this side of the fireplace. I've got two more studs to cut, one for here and one for here. Everything is drilled, screwed and glued, which is overkill. But I did that because I wanted everything to remain perfectly straight. So when I do my finishing touches, my tile or my marble facings, my drywall and all my mudding, I don't want it to crack later on. So at this point, if you're planning on putting a TV above the fireplace, it's something to think about. If you have your bracket, you can set it in place just to have a look to see what you're going to screw into. You might have to add some additional studs. There's nothing worse than getting your finished wall completed and then putting your TV bracket up and finding that you're going to have to use drywall anchors or whatever to keep it in place. Also, if you're going to run that TV, you have to think about electrical. I have some electrical outlets on the other side that I haven't hooked up yet. Your audio video cables, where are they going to come from? Are they going to go to a stereo and then to your TV? So things to think about. And I'll show you how to mount that bracket and to run the cables for the TV in a later video. Okay, I've finished the framing now on both sides of the fireplace. The next thing I could do on this side is start to put my sheathing material over top. Now I have seen fireplaces done in new construction and they butted the drywall right up against the stove, which I guess you can do. It is a zero clearance fireplace and it has its standoff, so how far in you can come. But it also recommends in the manual that you use a non-combustible material up to about 6 to 8 inches. So that's what I did. I bought some concrete backer board. I think it's called Wonder Board, and I'll show you how to put that on next. Okay, so here's the Wonder Board I was talking about earlier. It comes in a 5 by 3 foot sheet, 2 thicknesses. This one is the thicker one, which is the 1/2 inch. I bought that because it matches up with the same thickness as your drywall. So when you do your finished wall, your tile will be a perfect match. That's easy to cut. I just made a scribe there with a jigsaw to start my 4 foot pieces I need for the top for each side. They say that you can scribe it just like drywall. So let's give it a shot. Not quite as easy as drywall. Now let's see if it actually will break. Yeah, it does. So there's my first piece for the top of the fireplace. Okay, so I've cut my pieces of Wonder Board for around the edges of the fireplace. I cut mine 6 inches. That'll give me 15.5 inches from the opening of the door, so that's a good safe distance. I don't have to worry about anything getting hot that's combustible. So I decided to use construction adhesive on it just to hold it in place, and also it'll take out any inconsistencies in the wall if the wall is not perfectly straight, which we know it is, but you can never be too safe. And now we'll just carry on with finishing up both sides of the fireplace. Okay, now we can start our drywall on the upper level and on the sides.